Hello and welcome to this Mortal Online Combat Tutorial Guide. Okay, before we start, I'm Wolfside with my friend Rias here, and we show you how combat works in Mortal Online. This guide is mainly for beginners, so stay calm. Veterans, please. Okay, let's start with the attack directions. If you hold your left mouse button and move the mouse slightly to the right, you attack from the right side. Of course, same for left, same for up. And for thrust it's holding the Alt key. For blocking it's exactly the same, and then the direction where you want to block it. But you can also block a hit if you block in the other direction. Just for example with a shield you can get an equipment hit, even if you're not blocking in any way. Even if you're just standing there you can get hits to your shield. That gives you a little bit of tactical advantage if you use a shield or a big weapon. With a big weapon the same, if you have a big weapon and you're just standing there or you're blocking with your big weapon, then the enemy is more likely to hit your weapon instead of you. Also the same goes for if you're running away from a target and you have the shield equipped on your back. It will save your life, because if someone attacks you, you can't get sticky bagged easily. What sticky bag is we explain later, but good to know, you can still be hit on your head and your feet. So if you're running away from someone, you can look on the ground to hide your head. If you're blocking and you press the left key, you can push someone. Without a shield it's not so efficient. With a shield you can push someone further and even down a cliff or a mountain mid-combat. The fall damage depends on the armor and the inventory weight you have currently. Now it was 127 fall damage with armor and only around 50 without any armor. Just a few items in the inventory. Now let's talk about hitting with the maximum damage. If you hold your hit for like 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds or 2.2 seconds until the circle is full, you will make the maximum possible damage with your hit. If someone tries to hit you and you will get a parry and you hit him, you get much more damage out of it. For example here, 39 for the head with a parry hit. So in combat you always look for parries to launch an efficient counterattack. That's very important. And now with a normal hit we make 14 damage. So as you can see, it makes a huge difference if you make a charged hit or not. Okay, let's talk about endurance. Endurance is very important during combat. And that's the reason why you're not running around with a 20 kilo maul. The heavier the weapon is, the more stamina you will drain during using it. And you will also drain more stamina if you're blocking with it. And so better use some light materials, because stamina is very crucial in combat. You will see this later when I'm losing like fuck. The stamina difference from a few points, like 3, 4, 5 points, seems not much. But it's a big difference in combat if you fight longer. Now talk about stamina management. If you have under 60% of your health points, you will regain stamina much slower. And if you're normal running, you will lose stamina. Now I will take a bandage and I will get over 60% again. And then you will see that my stamina won't drop anymore, even if I'm running normal. So if your opponent has under 60% life point, you can go into the defense position and outplay them by your stamina management. So here's a little stamina test we did. First off, running in combat mode with armor, and second, running with armor not in combat mode. You can run much faster in combat mode, but you can run longer without combat mode. Keep in mind that I'm wearing a 26 kilogram armor and Rias wear a 13 kilogram armor. Now we did the same test with running around naked. Of course we burn much less stamina as before, and the difference was a little bit more noticeable. But always keep in mind, if you're running away from someone, you should have at least enough stamina to block a few hits or maybe launch an attack, otherwise you will get sticky bagged. So if you hunt down your target, keep in mind that under 60% of your life you will lose the stamina regain and don't have any chance to escape anymore. So if you see an outlaw in the wild, you have two options: commit to a fight fully or run away fully. Your only option if you get sticky bagged is running around in zigzag moves, and simply fighting back is your only option here. if your opponent has the same speed or is even faster than you. Your only option is to fight. The most people running behind you will use the thrust attack because it's the attack with the most reach. Yeah, I know, I'm pretty bad at fighting. That's why I'm a crafter and a trader since 10 years. Okay, let's talk about the mana regeneration. Magic is now not in game, but it will be later in there. Maybe if you're watching this right now. But the mana regeneration will be likely the same. So if you have full armor, you will generate mana very slowly. Even if not at all. So if you're a mage, you better get a light armor to be able to regen your mana much quicker. Psy will be your mana pool and Int will be your damage output more or less. If we give 1 damage, 1 mana I think. Psy will give 2 mana. As you can see here, it's regenerating much quicker if you don't wear any armor at all. And keep in mind that I'm not a mage character and that the mage skills are not in game yet. For quick mana regeneration and some other stuff. If you're fighting near water or if you want to cross a river or something, keep in mind that your overall weight and weight of your equipment can get you drowned. So let's go swimming for a bit. We have 26 kilo armor. I bet with that heavy plate we can't swim at all, and yes. If it would be deeper we wouldn't get out of here alive. So if that happens to you, quickly unequip your stuff and delete it. Better than dying. And if you're lucky, you can get out where it's not so deep. Let's talk about the collision system. So if you draw your weapon, it's an actual object in the world. So if the sword is behind your head, for example, you are still able to hit someone with it. The same for left and right swing and all the other options you have. You can use that to your advantage in a few scenarios. Just for example, if you're fighting between 2 trees and you have just a one-hand sword, that can be pretty good if your opponent have a big maul, for example, and can't make a thrust attack with it, or a thrust attack that makes damage with it. So the only option for him is to hit you from above, for example. Same if you want to swing your weapon from the right, for example, and there's an object. It can be any object, like any wall, tree, rock, whatever, other player, anything, even NPCs. Then you're not able to swing your weapon. So here's just an example fight how I get outstammed. And exactly here is the point where I screwed up. If you have a too heavy equipment, too heavy weapon, too heavy shield, you have no chance. If you don't have stamina left, you're fucked. Never ever run out of stamina. If you run out of stamina, you're doing something wrong. So here's the fight just in fast forward. So thanks for watching, like and sub if you haven't done yet, and I would appreciate any feedback and any suggestions what I should do next. See you all, bye bye!